Who am I?
Hold on. Oh, King Hippo.
Yeah.
I was like, I know what that is.
What's up, everyone? Thank you for checking out and supporting this episode of Raised a Geek. This week, we talk about the first two episodes of the HBO show, The Penguin, ripped straight out of the Batman universe. So what do we think about this spinoff? Let's find out. I'm Chris, and as always, I'm here with my buddy, Don. How we doing, man?
Chris, what is up today, my friend? I'm good. Everything's okay. Um, yeah, man, just ready to talk some Penguin with you. Jump back into Gotham City.
Yeah.
It's always fun to get back into Gotham somehow, some way. And there's always so many ways, whether it's through a TV show like this or a movie or a new comic book. They got a new Scott Snyder Absolute Batman comic. Have you seen that? That's coming where everyone's talking crap about it because the Batman is like super bulky. They're doing,
Okay.
they're starting like a absolute universe where there's like absolute Wonder Woman, absolute Superman, but like the absolute Batman book, I think it comes out in a couple weeks, is like
Mm-hmm.
Scott Snyder, which everyone's excited about that he's writing Batman again, which is
Yeah.
cool. But like it's an alternate Batman who's like super big, like he's like Bane
He's a beefy
size.
boy.
He's like you think Frank Miller size huge
Oh,
Batman,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
everyone's kind of like, what the hell is this? But like it's got enough hype going where it's like, I think I need to read at least the first issue of this comic book. Uh,
Now I'm now you almost have me regretting because when I went to my store to pick up my books this week, I was checking my list and it was Absolute Batman. I was like, "What is this?" I was like, "No, no, don't add stuff to my list. I'll tell you what I want. Don't
yeah,
just like,
don't just assume.
yeah, just no." I mean, sometimes, yeah, sure, they assumed and added the Long Halloween Batman. So I was like, "Sweet, thank you for doing that." That was one I wanted. Absolute Batman. I don't know what that is. Now you're telling me it's Scott Snyder, and I'm like, a beefy boy Batman and Scott Snyder.
Yeah,
I might keep my eyes open on that. But
might be worth a look. But
did you
yeah,
read All Star Batman?
um, which one is that? Is
That
that
was
the
what Scott Snyder kind of jumped to after he got off of the regular Batman. He did like 13 episodes of All Star Batman,
yeah?
and
And
it was really good.
yeah, I do remember that. I think it was focused on like Two-Face a
I
little bit at the beginning. I
think he
remember
did
those.
Two Face. I want to say he did a Freeze. It's been a minute. I mean, it's been 5, 6 years probably.
Yeah.
But that was my
And
favorite. I loved that series. I was really mad when it ended.
yeah, that was a cool book. That was him coming back to Batman for the first time after his first
Yeah,
New 52 run.
yeah.
I know that there was also I didn't know if you were talking about like All-Star Batman, which goes back. There was the first All-Star Batman, which was like Frank Miller and
Oh yeah, yeah,
Jim Lee, which everybody liked, but they never finished because Frank Miller doesn't finish everything.
yeah.
Uh, and that was the thing where like everybody was talking shit because Frank Miller started writing Batman really weird, and he was like a jerk to Robin, like calling Robin like a bitch, and like and like being like, I'm the goddamn Batman, and you like, Batman doesn't talk like that. He doesn't go around saying I'm the goddamn
Maybe he should.
Frank
That's
weirdo.
hilarious.
Yeah,
He's smoking cigarettes, wearing
right.
a trench coat.
Probably has handguns in his belt, like Batman just using guns. But yeah, man, Gotham's fun. So
Did
video
you
game.
watch Gotham?
Um, no, a little bit. The first couple episodes, like we're talking the CW show, right? Where
I think
it's
it was Fox, but yeah,
okay, maybe it moved to CW, or yeah, I think
it
you're right.
might have.
Uh, no, I didn't really, and I don't know. It just always looked very Fox, very CW. So I saw a couple. Obviously, everybody
Yeah,
knows like the young Jim Gordon, played by the guy from the OC, and
yeah.
the one dude, Donal Long, was like
Hmm.
his
He
partner.
was Bullock, or
He was Bullock, I think. And I remember watching one episode, and they're talking, they're talking, and like they have that buddy cop relationship where they give each other shit all the time. And like the young Jim Gordon guy, Bullock said something to him, and he was just like, "Shut up!" Like, yeah, I was like, this is weird. This is too weird.
I want to say I watched the first season. I know I tried multiple times. Like even after it was on, I would try to watch it on like Netflix, and I still always struggled. But man, watching these couple episodes of The Penguin now, and they keep suggesting it, I'm like, do I want to watch
Right?
Gotham?
Am I gonna watch Gotham?
Am I gonna
The,
watch Gotham next? Like, I need
the
something
thing
to
I
watch.
the thing I also found weird about that show is like Bruce Wayne is a kid.
Yeah,
He's like very young. I don't know,
like 10,
uh,
11.
10, 11, 12. And then they're also introducing all his rogues gallery though in this show as adults. So it's
Some of them,
like
some of them are kids.
most of them though are
Yeah,
like you got like okay, so now you're telling me when Batman grows up, all his main villains are going to be 30 years older than him? Like that doesn't track. Um, I don't know.
unless
I get it.
Batman.
I get it. They weren't planning ahead, being like, we're gonna show this Gotham universe in 20 years when he's finally Batman. And they were like, well, we'll just focus on now, and we have a Penguin and a Riddler and a whatever as
Yeah,
adult. Who cares? But I don't know. No, I didn't really get into Gotham.
just curious. Like I
Yeah,
said, it was tempting me watching
yeah,
these couple episodes of The Penguin.
yeah.
Was there? You know what else has tempted me watching sitting here on HBO is we got a first look trailer for The Last of Us season 2. And holy shit, Don,
We did.
I've never watched anything with just straight up chills for the full 2 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. We
That
kind of been waiting a little bit to see more. I know they did a little mini like clip of saying the show is coming in 2025 a little bit ago,
yeah,
but
a
this
little
is like
sizzle reel, but that was it.
yeah, so this is like the first official look at it, and man oh man, I cannot wait. I just can't wait. People who have listened to us know we're big fans of the first two games and the first season of this show. I think very rarely do Chris and I do episodes of this podcast where we do an episode that's dedicated to one episode of television
Yeah,
and then do that entire season that way. But we did that for The Last of Us. We're like, all right, for the next 8-10 weeks, we're a Last of Us
Last of Us
podcast.
podcast. And I think I still have I don't think I ever changed to the Facebook wallpaper from that time. So I think it still has like Joel and Ellie on the Facebook page.
Yeah, just leave it. Yeah,
You
man.
guys love it.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. I'm excited. I don't
Yep.
know. I don't know what else really to say about it. I mean, like we played the second game, which this season of TV looks like it's going to be based on. The first season, for those who know, was based on the first game. They kind of more or less wrapped that game up. So now heading into season 2, we're going to be looking at the events of The Last of Us Part 2 game. And man, I'm just excited. It looks great. It looks like a bunch of, they don't really call them zombies. They call them walkers or biters or clickers or whatever. They have a bunch of different names for their quote unquote zombies, but there was some cool looking stuff in the trailer from that. You got to see a lot of Ellie, a lot of Joel, some new characters that are going to be in
Jeffrey
it.
Wright?
Jeffrey Wright, which is super cool because he voiced that character in the second game.
He did.
Yes, so him getting to play it in live action is pretty cool. They did that with a character too in season 1, like Marlene, I think.
Yeah.
The same actress came to do it. So, and Jeffrey Wright's awesome, so it's cool to see him. And we're going to be introduced to a couple people, different characters that are in the pipeline. So it's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm super pumped, and it was just nice if you played the game, just to see all the recognizable things. That was what the first season did so well, was just recreate the game, and it's really exciting to see them do that again. Like just to see, I mean, I had no reason to doubt that they wouldn't. Neil Druckmann, the creator, is still involved. Everything's still in place. So just to see all those scenes and those moments in the quick flashes, and you're like, oh shit, we're gonna get this scene. Oh shit, we're gonna get this part. Oh, we're gonna get this. Is just exciting. Like I said, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be good.
The only one thing that concerns me, and it does not concern me because I know it's gonna be fine either way. But for those who played the games, Ellie from the first game to the second game is clearly aged. She becomes kind of, I forget how many years are supposed to have passed, maybe 5 years, but looks like a different older person. In the first game, she's a child. In the second game, she's a young adult.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do that with Bella Ramsey because she just looks young. And I know she has aged and she is older. She's probably like 21, 22 in real life. But like saying she's a 21, 22-year-old, I look at that person and I'm like, she still looks 12.
Yeah.
So
I like I said, I said this a lot when we talked about the first one. I enjoyed. I thought she did great.
Yeah.
I still don't think she's the right casting for that. Like, I still feel like they could have done better. Like, I don't know. She did good. I can't knock. But because of like that appearance, there's just something, because she looks so young. Like I said, it worked for that first game. It does not work for the second one. I will agree with you on that.
We'll see how they do that. We'll see how they handle
then
that.
Then they slap in our face and cast Caitlin Dever, who should have been Ellie to begin with. And they're like, hey, we're going to cast her as someone else. You're like, you guys suck. You know that?
Yeah. You're toying with us.
Because I think she would have done that and looked the part, but whatever.
I believe she was a finalist.
Yeah.
But
she would have killed it, and that's probably why she's in season 2. So,
right.
The big thing, if you played the game, don't be a dick and talk about it on social media. Just don't do it.
I mean, it's the same rules that apply to anything. If something's based on a book and you know what's going to happen, let people enjoy it. If it's based on a video game and you know what's going to happen, let people enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Game of Thrones, don't spoil the Red Wedding. Like, don't be that person. Just, it's just common courtesy, I believe. So, yes, let the masses experience things
just like we did.
The same way you did. So, yeah, I'll agree with that sentiment.
So you're going to get in Last of Us Part 2 before the premiere?
I believe I will.
Because I'm pretty sure you did. I think we both, or you finished, you replayed the PS5 version of the first one before the season started, didn't you?
I did, which was my third completion of that game.
Yeah.
Still haven't dove back into part 2 since the first playthrough, because it takes a toll on you as a game. Beautiful game, loved it from start to finish, and said as soon as I finished it, like, I will play this game again. So now is probably the time, though.
$10.
And season 2, I think they said 2025, but there hasn't been a date. So I mean, either way, you got some time.
Unless they just be like January,
right?
Hurry up! That was when the first season dropped, was January. So
yeah, I expect early 2025.
Maybe March. It seems like a March or April show.
Sure.
Super ready, and we'll be here talking about it. And the best way to make sure you don't miss that is you like and subscribe to this show on social media and follow us on all podcast services. Any questions, comments, or concerns, shoot us an email at raisedageek@gmail.com or hit us up on every social media platform at Raised A Geek. Super easy to find. Before we dive into the chaotic world of the Penguin, I can't help but think about how managing that kind of drama and stress requires some serious focus. And speaking of focus, let's talk about Magic Mind, the productivity shot that's been a game changer for me. I've been using Magic Mind now for the last couple of months, often as a pre-workout drink, and it's been a game changer for me. With its blend of adaptogens like ashwagandha and lion's mane, it helps reduce stress, anxiety, and improve mental clarity for me. Plus, the natural caffeine from the green tea gives me that extra boost of energy without the jitters, allowing me to power through my workouts and stay focused during the day. For a limited time, you can start your Magic Mind journey with a 20% discount, whether you're a first-time trial user or an existing subscriber. You can get it in 15-bottle or 30-bottle cases, allowing you to choose how often you want to use them, whether that's one per day or every other day, depending on your needs. If you opt for the subscription, you can save up to 48% off the regular price, bringing your cost down to less than $3 a bottle. Visit magicmind.com/raisedageek and just use our code RaisedAGeek20 at checkout to take advantage of this deal and have your productivity boost delivered right to your doorstep every month. And with a Magic Mind subscription, you get free shipping and hassle-free delivery right to your home. Plus, the process is super simple. You can cancel anytime, no questions asked. It's designed to fit seamlessly into your routine so you can focus on what really matters, like planning your next podcast episode or catching up on the Penguin. So if you're looking to sharpen your focus and enjoy the convenience of having your productivity shot delivered to you, Visit magicmind.com/raisedageek and just use the code raisedageek20 to grab your Magic Mind and experience that boost for yourself. Trust me, it's worth it. Once again, magicmind.com/raisedageek, raisedageek20. Everything is down in the description below. So after the dramatic finale of The Batman, where Carmine Falcone was assassinated and Gotham City's seawall was destroyed, the Penguin picks up just 1 week later. The series follows Oswald Cobb, Colin Farrell, a.k.a. the Penguin, as he seizes the opportunity to rise through Gotham's chaotic criminal ranks. The first episode, titled After Hours, came out about 2 weeks ago on a Thursday. Then it switched to HBO's premiere night. Made us wait a couple extra days. I sat down and booted up HBO on Thursday night, ready to watch the second episode, and it wasn't there. And I was like, huh?
Yeah. At first, I just thought it was going to be a Thursday show.
Yeah.
Because it premiered on Thursday. But then I did see somewhere it's like, got to wait 10 days till the new episode. I was like, oh, man, why'd you do that? Why not just have it on Sunday so we don't get confused?
Right. It was a risky game.
A little confusing. But, yeah, I was ready. But had to wait a couple extra days for that second episode.
Well, let's talk about the first episode. We didn't talk about this. Then we'll talk about the second one.
Sure.
So what'd you think? I mean, I guess we could talk about where we at right now. We watched, I guess, backtrack us here. Maybe we will talk about it. But what do you think about these first couple episodes? Just overall presentation. Yeah. Is this show for you? Or are you going to keep coming back?
I'm enjoying it quite a bit, I think. And I don't think there was a question that I thought I would. Just being a fan of, well, number one, like we talked about to open this episode, anything Gotham related, I'll give a shot. Most of it's pretty good to me just because I love the character and the city and everything. But then just had that extra security going into this show, knowing it's spun out of the Batman, Matt Reeves, the Batman from a few years ago, which I super enjoyed. I think you did too. We talked about it. Like, it's so good that people are saying, "Is this the best Batman movie ever?" And I still think there's still that argument that could be had. I've only seen it the one time, but I'm still in my conviction that, you know, that movie can stand up with The Dark Knight or any Batman project you want to say. It was that good. Matt Reeves knows what he's doing, and with this character in this world, and he is involved in this show, has his hands in this show, so like, how would I not really like it? Colin Farrell's an awesome actor. I liked the little bits and pieces of him in the movie as the Penguin. Probably some of the best prosthetic work I've ever seen. Sometimes looking at him even during the show, like, I forget that it's him. Like, it just looks like some fat Tony Soprano looking dude.
Yeah.
It's like you forget that it's Colin Farrell underneath that makeup sometimes.
Yeah.
No, but the show's really good. I love the atmosphere. I love this Gotham City that they've kind of created. And talking about Batman stuff before, I think we even brought this up when we did our Caped Crusader, the Amazon show episode, a few episodes ago. I just like the Gotham that is gangsters and Maronis and Falcones.
Yeah.
Even though I still call them Falcones, I don't care what anybody says to me. They're Falcones. That's how I've always read it. That's how I'm always going to say it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just love that whole world. A lot of these characters I already knew from the Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale books, like the whole Falcone family, Alberto and Sophia and the kids and the whole family, Johnny Vitti and all of them. Like, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, man, I'm really enjoying it. The performances are really good. It's like HBO level, and you can tell HBO knew this show was going to be good, because I think the show originally was just going to be a Max show, and they're like, no, we're putting this on HBO. This is good. Like, we're going to do this weekly.
Yeah.
It's going to be like one of our prestige Sunday night shows, and it deserves it. It's so far really good. Like, I love like the crime, the criminality of everything, and the like I said, atmosphere and performances. I've been really enjoying it, and I definitely, when you asked, am I sticking with it? Oh, of course, yes, I am. It's a really good show. How about you? What do you think so far?
No, I agree. It's outstanding. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying the hell out of it. It has a nice like isn't the best way to say it, but like fun vibe. Like it's not over indulgent. It's not over complicated as some mob things can be. You were like, wait, who is that guy? Where were they? Who's part of what family? Like they've kind of drawn those lines pretty clear. Um, it's not like I said, not overly complicated. It's not super heavy. Like it has heavy themes, but just like Colin Farrell did in the Batman movie, kind of uses the Penguin and his kind of brashness, but almost being able to play the comedy and have the lighter side of him as well. And to be able to just have that entertaining. It's just entertaining. It's like fun to watch. I'm just like, what's going to happen? Lots of crazy things where you're just like, how is he going to get out of this? Just the idea of where it goes. What do they do? I love Kristen Milotti being Sophia, and she's just killing it. And I can't wait to see more of her. I'm really hoping in this. I'm hoping after we ended episode 2 that she's really gonna be in more scenes and be a lot more heavily involved just because she's just such a great casting and so much fun. I'm just having a blast watching this. Just makes me want to watch the Batman again, which I'm sure is coming in my future relatively soon. Just to kind of remember, as you said, I watched it in theaters and then I've only seen pieces. So to sit and actually watch it again kind of seems like it's going to be on my list to fill in the gaps as I wait week by week for these episodes.
Man.
I love HBO Prestige Sundays, and this is a good addition to it.
Most of it's good. If it's not like, what's that Zendaya show with Sydney Sweeney? Like stuff like that, I'm
Euphoria.
not. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that kind of stuff. But
No.
like stuff like this, coming off House of Dragon, Into the Penguin, Last of
Yeah,
Us is coming, like Succession. HBO doesn't miss with a lot of these.
a lot of them. Yeah,
Yeah,
they have good enough hook. They're good, and I think this one fits right in. They knew what they were doing when they promoted it from Max to HBO.
yeah.
And I'm hoping, I know that there was a lot of conversation on whether or not it was successful. I know they said it was it was the most successful show since The Last of Us. I think it had 5.4 million views in the first like 4 days or somewhere in there. So
Nah.
hopefully that's going up with these episodes and doesn't go down like The Acolyte did.
Why do you think a lot of people are watching this?
I think it's just the Batman world. I think that I mean that movie was popular. I think Colin Farrell being in the prosthetics probably has some intrigue to it. Um,
Crime drama.
yeah, just a crime drama. It's being promoted. I think it's being marketed very well. They're talking about it being just like I said, the next Sopranos. So there's definitely some hype behind it. So hopefully, I mean, I don't personally, outside of know anyone else who watched it, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't really either, but I don't know a lot of people who like the same kind of stuff we do. But it seems like the world is appreciating it and watching it, and
yeah, hopefully, whenever they decide to drop something for this second episode, hopefully it went up. The
what do you
viewers,
mean?
like more people watched
Oh,
it.
the viewers. Okay, I gotcha.
Like more people watched it. We go up and up and up, and it gets bigger and not down.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be key. So yeah, we're kind of in agreement. We're both digging this show.
Yeah, so let's talk about this first episode. In the premiere episode, Oz clashes with the Falcone family, particularly Alberto and Sofia Falcone, as they vie for control of the city's drug trade. When Oz impulsively kills Alberto, spoilers, he must navigate the resulting power vacuum, build new alliances, and assert his dominance over Gotham's fractured underworld, all while plotting to take control of the Falcone crime.
And not a Batman in sight.
Not a Batman in sight. They talk about him in the opening. Okay, first thing I need to say, because I died laughing at the opening of this show. And tell me if this seemed funny to you. But was it hilarious how much information about the mob the news had?
Oh my God, I was thinking about that too. And yeah, it was like it was top of the newscast story. Like, oh, treating them kind of like they're celebrities, showing them get out of limos and stuff, and like the undisputed mob boss Carmine Falcone shot dead and like whatever. And then I was like, okay, it's comic booky, yeah. But then I'm thinking in my head like, as a realism factor. Like I live in Chicago. We don't have newscasts that are just like Fat Tony Spolano is seen at Michael Jordan's Steakhouse tonight. Top of the news. It was like those. Go ahead.
Well, even if him being killed and assassinated, okay, yes, I could buy that. It was when they were like, news word is Alberto Falcone is going to
Take over the family
place and take over the family. They had like all these details on who's in charge of the family, and then even they had enough details where they were like, but there's worries about his alcoholism. And you're just
all right. Yeah, it was
I
very.
don't think the mob cares about alcoholism.
No, it was very specific.
Yeah,
Details of illegal gangster criminals.
Yes.
By name with cameras in their face. Like, no cameras. I'm a mobster. Just like,
I understand we needed the info dump, and the news works great for that, so it was fine. But it was cracking me up, and I was like, oh, what is this show about to be? Because it just seems so cartoony.
Yeah.
So it just made me laugh when they were doing that.
That would have been like a way you open an episode of the animated series.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like,
yeah.
Rupert Thorne seen at the governor's ball today.
Yeah. And you're just like, why are you following criminals around?
All right. It was funny.
But yes, that killed me. I loved the fact that they opened it that way, and I was laughing, and it just I genuinely had me worried for a second what was about to watch.
Well, that kind of turned quickly when
real quick.
When the next pretty much next scene is like Oz, as they're calling him mostly. That's kind of his street. He's not Oswald really on the street. He's Oz Cobb, like a mid-level gangster. And you remember from the first movie, he was like involved with the Falcone. So Carmine's dead. He's in here messing around inside the Iceberg Lounge or wherever he was. And
that's where he was.
Alberto comes in and catches him like moving around stuff. And he lies his way out of that situation, which becomes a theme for him. Very quick on his feet, very quick thinker.
Yeah.
Very smart guy to like get himself out of a jam. He's very street smart, this version of Oswald Cobblepot. And we'll talk more later about like this version of the Penguin and its differences in past versions. But I do like this gangster version of Oswald anyway. But that scene kind of goes into him getting the trust back of Alberto, and Alberto confiding in him, being like, I'm the face of this family now, and this and that, and a conversation between them, and Oswald starts spilling his guts about like getting vulnerable with him, telling him this is why, whatever, and I guess Alberto thinks whatever he's saying is stupid and laughs in his face, and like, you're just basically saying like, you're an idiot, like, you're nothing, like, you're just my little pet, just do what I say, whatever. And just shockingly, like you said, for being laughed at, Oswald just shoots him 3 times and kills Alberto immediately. And like, I think he doesn't even really realize he did it because he just laughs. He's like, basically in his mind, like, F you don't laugh at me. And then he realizes what he did, and he's just like, oh shit. And then like the Penguin logo comes up, and you're like, oh, okay, that's what this show's gonna be.
I think that was when they teased the first F-bomb. He was like, oh, and then it cut, and I was like, oh, are they not going to swear in this show? And then, like, the next scene, he was like, buck, and I was like, okay, I guess they're going to swear.
Yeah. But hell of a way to kick off the show with that scene. Super unexpected to me. I know in one of the trailers they did show him in that chair shoot somebody, but never in my mind would I have been like, oh, that's going to happen in the first episode,
First scene, Alberto Falcone.
Killing Alberto. Yeah, man, that was crazy. I was like sucked in right there. I was like, yep, I'm in. Let's do this. It was so unexpected and sudden and cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And then him trying to clean up the mess and carry that body down those stairs, and we're just like, just throw it, man.
And he did.
Yeah. You're just like, all right, there it goes. There it goes. You don't need to be nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then coming off of that is where we met Victor Aguilar, who was trying to steal his hubcaps and his tires off Penguin's car. And then he kind of became our surrogate into this world a little bit. You know, you always kind of need to have that character that you're following who doesn't know everything. So then you kind of have an opportunity to info dump once again without it being on the news.
Yeah.
My kind of Victor.
Yeah, my thoughts kind of with that character are like, oh, he's Penguin's Robin, kind of
Hmm.
like he's his ward, he's his sidekick, he's his guy he's bringing into this world and showing him the ropes. Um, Possibly, probably a character invented for this show, I'm sure, but if not, I'm not familiar. But
Yeah,
kind of something needed to kind of give Penguin that. It's always a thing where you make a show or a movie about a villain and you have to make them likable,
yeah.
which is maybe somewhere along the line where all those Sony movies have gone wrong. Like no one gave a shit about Morbius. Do people really even care about Venom? They want you to. They're gonna want us to care about Craven, but like these are villains in the comic books. If you can't make some kind of connection with the audience, like I'm not gonna care. But they're taking the Penguin, who is traditionally a guy I would be like, fuck the Penguin, but they're making me they're making me look at him as like a human. So,
Yeah.
he lets this kid live. He's giving him a second chance. He has a issue with his leg walking. This kid has a stutter. So he's looking at him like, he kind of reminds me of me. I'm going to take him under my wing kind of a thing. So yeah, a lot of potential in that relationship and that
Hmm.
character, I think.
No, absolutely. And then, like I said, then we kind of just run out the clock. We're just then trying to figure out how does he get out of this situation in which he murdered Alberto Falcone, and he has
Yeah.
to talk his way out of it. And that's where we get to enter Sophia Falcone,
Sure.
fresh from Arkham, who Oz did not know she was out. And I loved that scene where he's doing his lies about where Alberto is, and you watch her just walking in the background over his shoulder
Yeah.
and just listening to him as he's talking about the drugs that Alberto was talking about, which
Yep.
obviously comes back because then she's just like, how did you know about that?
Hmm. Yeah, this is cool having Sophia. She's a character I'm familiar with, like I said, from the Jeff Loeb Tombstone books.
Hmm.
This is a very different representation in those books. She's very imposing and big, and that's her thing. Is like she's a big bruiser woman, but
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
this Sophia seems more calculated. Um, some things happen with Sophia that might connect to this show that happened in Dark Victory comic book that I'm not going to spoil for you because I know you didn't read it. Um, you're going to though. You've told me you will. Uh,
Yeah,
so
I'll
yeah,
buy it right now.
Sophia is a cool character. I like her. And yeah, like you even mentioned off the top, this actress is doing really good so far through the first two.
Yeah,
I'm glad she's kind of like the co-star, like the co-lead a little bit
yeah.
to this point, and everything she's kind of done, even through episode 2 and episode 1. And I'm like, oh yeah, she's a nice addition. I like Sophia.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. And then
I'm
we
a
even got a little bit of a Maroney, good old blanked on his name, Blake Crouch or
Crouch.
Clancy Brown.
Where'd you get Crouch?
Uh,
Who's Miss Crouch?
Christmas Crouch. Um,
Yeah, Clancy Brown.
I don't know. Oh, I was thinking Blake Crouch. He's an author.
Huh.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's who I
Okay.
guess. Clancy Brown. We got a Maroney who's in prison. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to now the episodes are starting to swirl together in my head. But
Well, we can just mix them up. We don't have
yeah,
to. When you start talking about Falcones, you got to have Maronis too.
yep,
That's like the rival family. Um, so for sure you got to have some Maronis in here. Uh, some other actors I recognize, like the guy who's in the Falcone family,
Johnny Beatty.
who's playing Johnny Vitti. I know him mostly from House of Cards. He was like the
Yeah,
main handler for Kevin Spacey's president.
yeah,
Uh, but yeah,
yeah.
nice.
It's a cast of who's who, character actor wise and mob movie wise. And yeah, I'm like I said, I'm enjoying the hell out of this. But yeah, we got some Maronies. We spent most of this first episode with basically Oz framing Maroney for the
Mhm.
murder of Alberto.
Sure.
He tried first somebody different, didn't he?
He was going to. Who was he going to pin it on? I don't know. His plan changed a couple times,
Yeah,
and by the end of it, it's not him really framing Maroney for it. It's giving Maroney credit for it
yeah,
because even Maroney knows he did it, but he's like, okay, now you're this is our chance. Now we're at war with them. You can finally take over. He's
Yeah.
kind of playing. He's playing both sides,
Yeah.
obviously. Whose side is he really going to be on at the end of this? That's yet to be seen. Like right now, he's with the Maronis, but at the end of episode 2, which we'll kind of mixing and matching our talk here, he's kind of with Sophia. But is he really? Is he going to backstab her too? Like who knows what's going to happen in between? He's just kind of playing having his own best interest at heart, obviously, and just kind of playing whoever he can.
Well, I mean, you would imagine just with it being the Penguin that the whole idea coming out of this is he's the one who's in charge. It's not the Falcones or the Maronis, it's Penguin.
Well, that's what's beautiful about this show is, isn't it cool to kind of see his rise through the ranks of the Gotham underworld to eventually be, we know he will eventually be what we know he's going to be because we know what the Penguin character becomes.
Mm-hmm.
He is like the underworld when finally all these characters with like super villain names, when they finally take over and the underworld is all pushed down, like these are the guys on top, and eventually Penguin is the guy he's the super villain, but he's also the underworld, and he came from that, and he's like the mob,
Yeah.
top of all mob. Like everyone answers to him. There is no more Falcones eventually. There is no more Maronis. It's Penguin. So it's cool kind of seeing him, just his rise. You know what I mean?
And it's
I don't
really
know
cool because the only
yeah,
Penguin we've ever really gotten was fucking Danny DeVito. And
right,
that wasn't his role. And,
right.
that wasn't his story. That wasn't anything. So just the idea of this is the Penguin we're getting is awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And it kind of hurts in my mind that I know we'll never truly see the payoff of the Penguin. I don't think. I don't think they have enough. There's too many characters in the Batman universe to focus on him so like directly. Maybe I don't know.
Could they keep doing the show?
I mean, they called it a limited series. I don't know if they'll ever.
They?
Yeah, I don't know if they'll ever do more of the show, but maybe it's not.
I mean, if it's a big enough hit, they'll do another one.
Yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
They called Squid Game a limited series too, and we're getting season 2.
That's true. And they've done that with shows here and there when they get popular. Like I think that was, what's that one Mike White show on HBO? That was only supposed to be one season.
Oh, The White Lotus.
Yeah, that was originally a limited series, and like everybody watches, or season 3. So you never know.
Aren't we about to be on 4?
Yeah,
They've already done 3.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they've done 3. I think they're gonna do a 4th. So you never know, but it would just be cool to like, someday see like him sitting on the throne somewhere at the top and be like, this is my city. I'm the boss of the entire Gotham underworld. But who knows? I'm enjoying the ride so far.
Did you know Gotham City was in New Jersey?
Right? That was on that.
I never knew that.
That was on that kid's license or driver's license. It said Gotham, Jersey.
Yeah, I was like, huh.
I don't know if they've ever said that, or if they have, I missed it. But like, canonically, is it? I guess it is. Okay, like because in DC, obviously we know they use made up cities: Gotham City, Metropolis, Central City is the Flash. Like they come up with all these places, but there's also like Chicago, New York, but there's these made up places where the heroes are. So they're saying Gotham's in New Jersey. So where does that make Metropolis? New York? Like they're not supposed to be too far from each other, supposedly.
Yeah, that would be. It was funny because like in the Christopher Nolan ones, they made Gotham a state because Gotham was on the license plates on the cars. When you're watching like one of those movies, I remember seeing the cars. It looked like an Illinois driver or a license plate on an Illinois car, but it said Gotham instead of Illinois. And I was like, huh, Gotham's a state here.
That's funny.
I remember finding that funny. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, New Jersey, Gotham. Okay. I mean, it makes sense if Metropolis is
a
subset of New York, I guess.
He sounds like he's from New Jersey.
No, it obviously fits. I mean, that whole world usually is in New Jersey. So, I mean, it makes sense, but it just kind of made me chuckle. I was like, oh, we just learn something?
A little bit.
Where are we at? All right. Episode 2 was The Inside Man. And that
Mm-hmm.
was Sophia working to secure her family's strength while Oz attempts to play both the Falcones and the Maronis to his advantage. Like you said, most of this episode was spent of basically him trying to Sophia being fully feeling like there was someone in the Falcone family who's a rat, and she wanted to find them, and Oz needed to find someone to take that fall because he is a rat. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
after we had the opening heist,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
which was a cool scene. I enjoyed that. I liked Oz getting stuck in the car and having to make a decision on what he was going to do.
Yeah, that was kind of the action piece of this episode. That was a nice tense moment. The best shows just make you feel tense, and that scene made you feel tense on what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Definitely into that. I don't know, a good second episode of a season. I think in the first episode you're just kind of introduced to everybody,
Yeah.
getting to know the characters, getting to know the names. But when a second episode comes in, it just keeps like the momentum. It doesn't slow down. It kind of just keeps the story going.
Yeah.
I think that's a successful second episode. So I think this one definitely did that. Kind of kept us on this train to what's happening. Got you some more Sophia, a lot more Sophia. Get to know that character a little better.
And her struggles and
Mm-hmm.
opening up the mystery of who she is. Like we got the Hangman name. We know she was in Arkham. We don't really know for what.
She killed 7 people, they said.
But who were they?
7 women. Yeah, who were they? Yeah, we'll
But
find
like
out.
everyone's kind of nervous around her. She's being kind of, handled. And then of course, as they talked about post credits, just talking about the women's roles within organized crime families and her kind of being marginalized because of that, because of her past and her gender and all those things. So just kind of, like I said, super excited to see when this episode ended and her and Oz were like, yeah, let's do this. I was like, hell yes.
It all like came together when he was telling her earlier the story about like his mom and how they went dancing when she was
Yeah.
losing, going crazy, and like, you and your mom did that? He was like, yeah, that's how we dealt with, the death of my brothers. And then Sophia at the end is when she's telling Oz, like, I'm going to take down the Falcones. I'm not letting these old men tell me what to do. Are you in? And he just looks at her and he's like, let's dance. Like, yeah. Nice connection there. My question to you is, what is Theo Rossi going to have to do with this show? He was in that first episode as like her therapist. I was like, Sons of Anarchy guy?
What was funny was that I saw him, and then he was in that scene, and I kind of was trying to figure out like if he was therapist or like lover or what he was.
I think it might be both.
But I think both. And then I was just like, all right, whatever. You never saw him again. And then when the episode ended, and I saw his name in the credits, and he's like within the top like 6 billing, I'm like, okay, Theo Rossi's coming back.
He's going to be in more of this.
He's going to be involved. That's cool. Because and I know he was in Sons of Anarchy, and I know he just pops up in little things like that. So I know he's not a big actor in any way, but I still felt like he was too big for just that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was definitely a surprise. So now the Falcones, nobody knows that Oz's mom's alive. He has her hidden, right? Because I felt like when he was talking with Sophia towards the end, he kind of, the way he talked about that was just like he was almost talking about her in the past tense. I had that feeling and I was going to ask you about if you caught that or if you think that, because she's
possible.
Hidden,
Yeah.
I mean, he has her hidden away.
He does. I mean, that's a good theory. I don't know. I'm not sure if like he's just got her in a safe house, or like safe in her home and like keeping a close eye on her, or if like he's not telling the Falcones or whatever that she's around.
I mean, I would think you wouldn't want anybody to know if you have I mean, that's a weakness. He has a weakness.
Right. I mean, it's very possible. They might expand on that a little bit more, but you can tell the character of his mother is going to be involved in this show. She's been pretty involved so far as like a dementia-ridden mom who he's worried about. I'm sure that's going to come into play. Of course, it will.
Well, I like that those scenes, we've had 2 scenes now from these 2 episodes with the mother, and they've been very succinct but very impactful. Like you kind of had him, he was getting ready to run in the first episode. He was like, I can't do this. And she was the one of being like, what are you? You
Right.
can't do this. You can't run away. You can't,
Right.
that's not who I raised. You're going to see this through, and gave him that kind of like, I don't know, encouragement, or she pumped him up to do that. And then even in this one, she was kind of still just like, you can't make me waste my life. Like,
Right.
you have to go make something of yourself so it makes me better.
Sure.
Somewhere in that. I know I'm not saying it 100% correct.
Well, she basically like, I raised you to be this prominent person, and basically saying like, this is your city, go take it.
Yeah.
You know?
And if you're not the king, then what am I? You need to make me the queen. Like I'm a reflection of what you are, and right now you're a bum.
More or less. Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that was a nice impactful scene, but they didn't drag it out.
Yeah.
You didn't the show really doesn't slow down. Like, I felt like it keeps going, even if it's quiet, even if it's slow, it's still not slow, but
yeah.
I've just been engrossed. I just get kind of there as he's trying to figure out his plans, and he was trying to frame Johnny Beatty, and that backfired on him, and he had to once again make shit up on the fly.
He's just quick on his feet, very quick on his feet, has to think very fast. He's almost died about 4 times already in the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, he's been tied to a couple chairs.
He's had to think his way out of death a couple times already. So yeah, it's cool. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Why is Colin Farrell so good? And is he underappreciated as one of the great actors?
Yes.
I think so too.
I don't know what happened to him. Like, I remember when he came out, he was in everything.
Sure.
And he showed up, and then all of a sudden he was like in Daredevil. It seemed like Colin Farrell was just everywhere.
For a while.
For a hot minute, he was just like in every movie. And then somewhere in there, he just kind of like disappeared. And it seemed like everybody, I don't know what happened in that. But yeah, I feel like now then he pops up, yes. To answer your question, yes. I've kind of always felt that way, that he's just, whenever he pops up, I'm always like, yeah, fucking Colin Farrell. He just always kills it.
Just the stuff like, first thing I remember watching with him and being like, oh, he's good, was like In Bruges. And then obviously this one from a couple years ago from that same director that was winning. He was up for the Oscar for it. I can't even think of the name of it.
The Banshees of the Inisherin.
Yeah, the Irish movie.
That movie was so good.
He's super good in that. And like, and then like this character, him playing the Penguin, is just completely different from that. And he's obviously using a voice. The dude is from another country, so he doesn't even, have an American accent at all. And yet he's doing this like perfect New Jersey accent, wearing tons of prosthetic that he reportedly couldn't wait to get the hell out of. But he's still
shit on me.
There's too much shit on me. But he's just like doing his thing here and like acting his ass off and just like 100% believable. Like I said, he's like Tony Soprano kind of a little bit.
Yeah.
And just like he's showing this crazy range. I'm like, why don't more people talk about this guy as being one of the great actors? Because he's honestly shown to be one of them.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's come a long way from playing Bullseye in that Ben Affleck Daredevil movie.
But he was good in that too.
Right. Right.
I need to get back into I started the True Detective with him the second season. I need to get back into that.
Sure.
See what the hubbub is with that season.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely.
We were talking with our weird sidebar, but we're talking with our buddy Tony, who likes to come on here with us, and he was talking to me about he's like, True Detective season 2 sucks. And I was like, all right. He was like, but I mean, Vince Vaughn was terrible, but Colin Farrell, he was amazing. He's like, Rachel McAdams was outstanding. Taylor Kitsch was awesome. And he's like, wait, do I like that season? I was like, sounds like you do, man. You just don't like Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn really out of place in that season. I watched the whole thing and I was like, it's fine. Definitely not as good as the first, I don't think. But yeah, still question that casting, but whatever.
Yeah, I've only watched one episode, so I don't fully have an understanding of it yet. But
yeah.
Anyway, weird sidebar. Colin Farrell, amazing. He's awesome in this show. He's totally gonna get nominated for some Emmys and Golden Globes next year.
I would think so.
100%. I can't imagine. I mean, they like to do awards and shit for when you put a bunch of shit on your face,
And are still very good.
and are still very good. You know what? And you know what it is? It's because they left the eyes. I think you could still see Colin Farrell in those eyes, and the fact
Oh
that he
yeah.
can still like emote.
No, you can see his face in there. It's in there, but it's still just such perfect prosthetics that it's like I'm looking at him, but I'm also seeing just a different
Yeah.
person.
No, it's. I remember when they did drop the trailer for the Batman and yelling about who was Colin Farrell. I remember like us
Right.
arguing. I'm like, no, you're like, no, that old man is Colin Farrell. I was like, no, it's not. There's no way. That's a different person. Like, it's not prosthetics. That's a different face.
That's a middle-aged fat man. They got to be in there.
That's
Yeah.
not Colin Farrell. And then it was, and you're just like, oh shit, that's
Yeah.
fucking insane. Why did they do that?
I
Couldn't
don't
they
know.
just found someone who looked like they wanted him to look?
Yes, they
Why?
could
Why
have
did they be like Colin Farrell? We're gonna take your hunky face and we're gonna throw all this shit on it.
because we want you that bad to be this character.
We want you to be this character, so we're gonna make you look like shit. Okay.
It's funny,
Uh,
but it's working.
no, it's amazing. Like I said, I'm
Yeah.
digging all of this. Okay, I've been fighting asking
Yeah.
this question, and I need to know, and we're gonna talk about it right now. The So Oz, as we said, he's trying to find the inside man. Sophia gets her hands on a Maroni henchman. He's all drugged up on morphine. Oz is trying to frame it on Johnny Vitti, trying to get that guy. Like he's sitting there talking to that guy, going, "Hey, Johnny Vitti, you're going to give them the name Johnny Vitti, and I'm going to save you. You're going to give him the name Johnny Vitti." He's like, "All right, Johnny Vitti." And then Victor gets caught trying to plant some diamonds in Johnny Vitti's car, isn't able to do that. So Oz has to make this like split decision. And he's like, "Sorry, bro." And he stabs him and kills this dude. So then when they realize that guy's dead, all of the Falcones are like, "Oh shit, we have a rat," just like Sophia said. So they line everybody up and they're like, "We're looking for a blade." Oz has the knife on him. Who did he plant that knife on?
The other guy, like her kind of like bodyguard.
Do you think he did the bodyguard, or do you think he did it on Vitti and the guy who was patting him down swapped the knife? Because Oz looked surprised when the knife popped up on Sophia's number one. Because the guy who they ended up killing, who had the knife, was Sophia's like number one associate. So I thought that, so in my head, I thought that he planted the knife on Vitti and the guy who was patting him down found the knife and he moved it to the other guy. But then at the same time, I could also see why Penguin would have planted him on the Sophia's guy so he could become Sophia's number one.
We'll see.
So
what
I
happens.
don't know, because they didn't show us where he planted the knife. So is that going to be something that comes up later? Because clearly he had the knife and then it ended up on Sophia's number one guy. But they did it in like a tussle where he started yelling at Vitti, and then the knife just was gone. But they didn't show us where he actually put it. Did they do all of that on purpose, or is this just me
reading too much into it? I think that they wanted us as an audience to think he was just going to put it on Vitti, and that was going to be Vitti's, unbecoming of him right there. But then they flipped it and like, no, it got put on this other guy. Now, whether that was on purpose during the tussle, was Oz just looking for a pocket because the tussle was so many people and he just put one in somewhere and wherever it lands is where it lands.
Yeah.
Because I think if he would have put it on Vitti and then realized, hey, how to get on that guy, he would have said something about it, like when they're burying the two guys.
Yeah.
He would have like let it be known like some other weird shit happened in there. So
yeah, I can easily see where it was a surprise to him, just like it was to us. Like I just stuck it in a pocket. I don't know, and then I'm just gonna improv my way out of it.
Right.
And that led to him now basically becoming Sophia's number one because hers got shot in the face.
Yeah. I don't
see that.
I don't think there was a switcheroo by the pat down guy. I don't know. It just seems like
that was my initial, like, because I saw him fight Vitti. So once he's fighting Vitti, I was like, there goes the knife. Because his whole plan was to frame Vitti anyway with the diamonds and shit.
Right.
I was like, he's going after Vitti anyway, so this is his way to go right back to his plan and to do that. But then that got shifted around and Anyway, just curious your thoughts. There was a very lively discussion going on at my house about that. So
Yeah. No, I don't know if it was super complicated, but we'll see.
okay, just kind of curious. That was
Yeah, yeah.
that was my big. I was like, I can't wait to talk to Don about this.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you like when they were in the bar and so that guy who's like addicted to drops, that cop was in there trying to get more drops, which drops is funny. Just like
Yep.
this Gotham City drug that you just drop in your eyeballs. Like,
Yeah.
don't ever let that something like that be real. This world will end if you could just get high from an eye drop in your eyeball.
It's always funny. It's like, and they did a lot in the '80s where they just had like a weird drug. I remember like RoboCop 2. They're like nuke, need some nuke, and they're just like. And they're just like sticking it to their neck, and but like in the '80s and '90s, they always just had some weird made up drug that was like the rage.
Yeah,
it just was funny. So it just reminds me of that drops.
So we got drops.
We got the drop business.
And so that cop was trying to get drops from the bartender or whatever. Did you like that he mentioned Riddler? He said like, "Don't blame me, blame the Riddler" or something like that. You didn't get? Did you catch that?
I don't think I caught it.
Yeah, saying like Gotham's flooded and no, things aren't the same as they used to be, and there's a bunch of stuff, and don't blame me, blame Riddler. I was like, this really is part of that universe. Riddler exists. Batman's out here somewhere. It just reminds you, like, yeah, this is the Penguin, but somewhere there's a Batman. Somewhere there's a Riddler. Somewhere there's Joker. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to. Didn't they kill Riddler?
No, he's in jail.
Oh yeah, he was in jail because they did that scene. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta watch that movie again.
He's in jail, and like the next cell next to him is Barry Keoghan's Joker, just chilling.
Barry Keoghan's Joker. Don't all these dudes seem too small?
Paul Dano as the Joker is always kind of. I love Paul Dano, but or as a Riddler is always like, Paul Dano under there.
Yeah,
Paul Dano's the serial killer. I mean, he's played as a good. He's good.
Just feel like I feel like Barry Keoghan is like too small to be the Joker.
And
like I don't know why, but usually Joker's like tall and lanky, and I just feel like Barry Keoghan's like a little small boy.
I think we're just getting tall and lanky from Ledger. Like fucking Jack Nicholson's a little short, fat man.
Honestly, I think I'm just thinking comic books. Like I don't even think I'm thinking.
Oh yeah,
like I'm just thinking comic books or Mark Hamill, like animated series. Joker is always like tall and lanky.
Barry Keoghan does seem a little short,
right?
But
even Robert Pattinson seems short to be Batman, so I'm sure they'll level up.
Yeah, they'll
match up.
The same height.
All of these guys are too short. I won't go see Kraven because Kick-Ass is too short.
Kick-Ass.
I don't remember his name.
Me neither at the moment. You just made me forget it. I do know it. Aaron.
I can see it, but I can't read it.
Aaron Taylor.
Yeah, Johnson.
Yeah, Johnston.
He's too small to be Kraven. Yeah, right. He's shredded, sure.
Yeah.
Fucking Kraven is like his hand is the size of Spider-Man's head.
Supposed to be, anyway.
He's supposed to be a monster. He's supposed to be a beast.
Mm-hmm.
And he's too small.
Yeah.
Looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Can't just make a movie violent and then expect dudes to go see it.
That's why I'm not going to go see it, Chris.
I'm not. I will never watch it.
I'm done watching Sony Spider-Man movies until they give me another Andrew Garfield movie.
What about Venom Last Dance?
Nope.
You never even watched Venom Carnage.
Didn't.
Did you watch the first Venom?
Yeah.
It was fine.
It was silly.
Yeah. Second one was just bad. Anyway.
Sony doesn't know how to make villain stuff, but clearly DC does right now. And that's I think my last question to you.
Yeah. Ask it.
Before we wrap this up. Do you wish that this Gotham and this Batman and this cast of characters was just the main DC Batman rather than this Earth 2 separate on its own? Or is that better having it on its own? Or do you wish, like, we got a Superman movie coming out. Should Pattinson's Batman and this Gotham be the main Gotham in the DC moving forward? Not necessarily talking all these spin-off movies and Justice League and stuff, but like, should it just be, this is the Batman. This is the only Like, we got another Batman coming around the corner sometime in the next few years. Like, do we need another Batman, or is this enough?
This is enough. I don't want to. This is going to be a crazy sentence to say. I don't
Uh-oh.
want to see Batman and Superman in a movie again. Like, I just want Batman movies. Just make Superman movies. I don't want it connected to other things. I just want to watch Superman movies and give me a Superman world. And let me do this. Give me Green Lantern over here making movies. Give me this Batman over here making movies. I don't want a DCU Batman who's then going to be connected to this and Joaquin Phoenix's Joker over here. Like, just make fucking movies. And they just don't have to be connected. I feel like this like connected MCU like cinematic universe thing has killed a lot of franchises. And like, yes, Marvel's still trying it, but nobody else has been able to successfully do it.
Right.
And I think people need to stop trying because it's not going to work. And this DC thing won't work. If they really are going to try to do, no, I don't. It didn't work the last time. Why would it work now?
Because James Gunn.
What is James Gunn? He made a couple Guardians of the Galaxy movies, which were good.
Yeah.
And if anything, they were standalone within the MCU. Like, I just don't need connected. I don't want to have to go see a whole bunch of movies to understand what's happening in another one. I'm over it. I just want this to be Batman. Just these are the Batman movies. If you want to make a different Batman movie, then you start a new, you like, I don't know, just do it like it's always been done.
Yeah.
Because you know what? We screwed around with this last one and we never got the Batfleck solo film, which I think would have been cool. But because we were fucking around with all these shared universe things, we never actually got a Batman movie with him. He never got to make a Batman movie.
I know. It's a shame, ain't it?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Answer that question.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. This is the only Batman I feel like I need.
Yeah.
Because it's working. This show's working. That movie worked. I like the like possibilities that you could do with this Robert Pattinson Batman. Matt Reeves has shown he understands Gotham. To me, this is like all I need for Batman.
Yeah.
But realistically, I know there's going to be more. So, okay, just, I guess, do what you got to do. I'm kind of with you, and I hadn't thought about it this way, but I don't need really probably Batman and Superman together again either. You know what? They're DC Comics' top two most popular characters, and I get it, but they're complete opposites. Like, you don't need to make a movie where they're sharing the stage and the spotlight and the adventure because they're just too different. Like, Marvel makes sense. Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, these are all characters that are kind of sharing the same atmosphere and the same whatever, but just Batman and Superman are so polar opposite of each other that it's, when you put them together, you see what happens. Batman versus Superman, and it's kind of just like, you guys are forcing this because they're such big names, but Superman deserves to be over here doing Superman things, and Batman deserves to be over here doing Batman things. For movies, like, comics is different. Of course, you can write anything in comic books, but just like, yeah, I hadn't really thought about that until you just said it. Was like,
I don't need it.
I'm cool if they never make another Justice League. I'm cool if they never make another team up of these characters. Like, let me have my Batmans, let me have my Supermans, and yeah,
I would rather have them develop the Batman universe and the Superman universe and the Green Lantern universe. And yeah, maybe if you want to try it, I don't know, maybe I'm talking myself into a Justice League somehow, but but like, I don't like, we saw what happened when you put in a realistic type movie, when you throw Batman fighting these type of villains. What does he do? He doesn't do shit. He stands in the corner with a gun.
Yeah.
Kills a couple minions. He couldn't do shit against Darkseid.
And I think that's why this Batman they will not, like, even if the popularity is crazy for this show and that movie and Batman 2, I don't think they ever will make this Batman like the Batman in their universe, because, I mean, they're already sitting here arguing for the Batman 2, who the villain will be, because we can't go too unrealistic. It's got to be grounded. We can't go Freeze, we can't go Clayface, because that's too whatever. This Batman fights, you know, Riddler, who's just murdering a serial killer. You know what I mean?
And that's I do have a problem with that when I feel like Nolan did that already. Like did the realistic, like let's put Batman in our world. And I do wish that Matt Reeves would have a little bit more fun with it. You could still make it gritty, you could still make it realistic, but be willing to lean into some of the more fun aspects, a little bit larger, just something a little bit different. I feel like he also wants to just basically do what Chris Nolan did and keep it realistic, keep it grounded. And Batman has a lot of ungrounded elements as well that I think would be that we haven't seen in a long time. In movies, obviously they did that with, I mean, all of the original movies, and definitely, I mean, obviously by the time we were jumping into, Batman Forever and stuff, but
Yeah.
and I mean, even those were pretty grounded. We've really never gotten any Batman. Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy were probably the craziest in Batman and Robin.
Fantastical characters. Yeah.
But that movie was a fever dream in itself. So,
Well, I trust Matt Reeves enough to be like, whatever you're going to come up with for part two, I'm going to be down for.
100%. I just wish. I know I'm not going to get it. I just wish. I wish that they would just not mirror. And I know his was a different. I know it was a different kind of grounded and a younger Batman, and there were a lot of other nuances to it that were a little bit different. But just kind of, like I said, sometimes wish that we would get a Clayface or a Freeze or someone just that little bit out there a little bit.
I think you can do it and still like keep it grounded, but still do it and like you have to like play around the edges. You know what I mean?
Wait.
If you're gonna do a Freeze, he doesn't have to be some big dude in an iron suit with a giant like glass helmet on his head, but you can still come up with something where it's still fantastical but believable.
Look at we just talked about the Cape Crusader, their Clayface episode. There was no big hulking Clayface. I mean, that was just a shapeshifter dude. I mean, ultimately, there was nothing really fantastical about that.
Right.
Not like the original animated series or Clayface, when he's, a giant and doing shit. But I don't know. I feel like you kind of get limited if you try to keep it grounded. What are they going to do? Scarecrow again?
Sure.
What are you going to do? You obviously always have Joker, but I don't really want to see a Joker yet, as we were texting about the other day. We already did Bane. He did a lot of these villains already. I still wish we would have always gotten our Martin Short Mad Hatter. That would have been hilarious. I remember those rumors of like Batman 5, Martin Short was going to be the Mad Hatter.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just, childhood fever dreams, but we heard a lot of stuff when you were a kid and there was no internet. It was just like, I heard, and it just became like fact. There's going to be a Ninja Turtles 4 where Splinter was going to die.
They're going to do Krang finally.
No idea. No movie executives are talking about Krang. And then Michael Bay comes in the door and he's like, we're fucking doing Krang.
That's what we call playground movie rumors that just get made up by kids.
Yeah.
No, I heard it.
I swear. My uncle knows someone. But anyway, weird sidebars to take us out of here. But no, I 100% am positive to the answer to the question that you asked at the start of this. I only need one Batman.
Yeah. I'm at the point right now where that's all I need to. And I know, like I said, Batman Brave and the Bold is going to be a thing, so it's going to happen anyway. It's
they did announce that, didn't they?
Yeah, that's a thing.
That was going to be my next question I was going to ask you was, did they even announce a Batman thing? But yes, they did announce that. Okay, whatever then. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'll just be happy and I'll watch it. Hopefully, maybe that'll be the fantastical one.
Sure.
You can have Matt Reeves over here playing in the real world, and then you got Brave and the Bold, and he's fucking shit up.
Right.
Cartoony style.
With Damien.
I don't know. We'll see what kind of Superman we get.
Yep, that'll kind of show us where we're going.
And then we'll know from here. But you guys know what you need to do. Like, subscribe, and follow Raised A Geek on all podcast social media services. Shoot us an email, raisedageek@gmail.com. Check out our codes and support us by checking out some Magic Mind. Don and I are down in Magic Mind every day, and we're feeling super focused, super ready to go. So use those codes. Check it out in the description. And I think that's going to do it for us this week. So for Raised A Geek, I'm Chris.
And I'm done.
And thanks for checking out the show.
Where geek is all we speak.